Good morning, everyone. Okay, so in the yesterday class, we have discussed the program structure. Okay, structure of a program and then programming construct, right? So in the programming construct, so we have three types. So very good morning, everyone. So number one is sequential. So in the sequential, we have three types. So that is input, assignment statement, and then finally output statement. Input statement, assignment statement, and output statement in sequential structure. So we have discussed also some selection structure also, right? So if and then if else, right? If and if else. So flowchart perspective, if else, yeah, right? Overall, so the programming construct is a basic building block to build a typical program. Okay, so basically it contains three types, that is sequential, selection, and iteration. Okay, sequential structure, selection structure, and iteration structure. So in the sequential structure, so we have input statement, assignment statement, and the output statement. Okay, so right now today we will discuss flowchart of if else and then some more selection structure. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so for all decision making, selection structure, or any conditional statement, so we'll write rhombus flowchart. It is simple one. Okay, so if condition, if condition, if it is true, statement 1 will be executed. If it is false, statement 2 will be executed. That's it. Okay, either you can write true here or here. Okay, you can shuffle, no problem. Okay, right side I very true anta enilla. Okay, you can write so according to your wish. Okay, so true, here it is false. Right, so here it is, it checks for next step. If this condition is true, statement 1 will execute. If else, nothing but if a condition false, the statement, sorry, 2 will be executed. Yes, statement 2 will be executed. Right, so this is what we call if else selection construct. Okay, this is the second one with respect to selection statement. Okay, if simple if is the first one, if else is the second one. Okay, so here only two possibilities. In this statement is condition is true, so statement 1 will execute. So the statement 2 will be executed when the condition false. Okay, either you can shuffle this. Okay, you can write here true and then there false. No problem. Okay, so wherever you can write. Okay, is that clear? Aita idu? If else flowchart aita?
Yes.
Finished? ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. If else if ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಇದಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದು?
Yes, sir.
Finished everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is if else if. So this is the third one. If else if statement. If else if statement. Okay. This structure helps the programmer to design execution of a statement. Execution of a statement from multiple statement. Multiple statement based on certain condition. Okay, this structure helps the programmer to decide the execution of the statement. Okay, so the condition when get true, then only the statement will execute. Right? Is that clear? Okay, the statement will be executed when and only the condition will be true. So we have multiple conditions here. Okay, so according to that,
Sir,
right? Okay, so this structure helps the programmer to decide the execution of the statement from multiple statements. Okay, based on certain condition. Okay, so when the condition, so here we have multiple if conditions. Okay, so when the condition will be true, so the statement will be executed. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear? Right? So ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ದಾಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, so just you write on this. So this structure helps the programmer to decide the execution of the statement from the multiple statement based on the certain condition. Okay, when the condition will be true, then only it so executes the statement. So here we have multiple conditions. Okay, and multiple statements. Right? So write on this. ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಇದು ಬರ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಸೊ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರೀತೇನೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇದಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಇದಾಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಫಿನಿಶ್ಡ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಕ್ಲಿಯರಾ? ಸೊ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಎವರಿವನ್? ಓಕೆ, ಡನ್. Syntax. If condition. Okay, next. So statement one. Else if. So let me tell you the condition one here. Okay, statement one. Next, else if. Ille pakkadalle baridi. Else space if. Okay, condition two. Here it is statement one. Here it is statement two. Next, else if again. Condition three. Statement three. Next, else if. Okay, so dotted line ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. Okay, up to condition n you can specify. Okay, multiple condition and multiple statements. Okay, condition n. So statement n. Okay, so last we need to put else. Else is default statement. That is what the final one. Okay, else if, else if, else if else if else if, last finally you need to end with else. If condition 1 is true, the statement 1 will execute. So as if the condition 2 is true, then statement 2 will be executed. So if the condition 3, the statement 3 will be executed. So if the condition n, so the statement n will be executed. So until you can write some multiple conditions and multiple statements. And finally you need to write else, that is default statement. Last and final. Okay. If all the conditions false, then last part will execute. Okay. So all false are last else part execute. That statement will be printed out. Okay, finished? Okay, so example okay, so I'll write an example, right? Percentage okay. So C++, in this C++ it will come. So I will show you. Just it is a problem solving technique. So how to solve the problems? So I am explaining you. Okay, so it will be done on the software called compiler called C++, high level language. Okay, Impana? So
Okay, sir.
ಲ್ಯಾಬಲ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಸಿ ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಸೊ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ about first PUC and second PUC labs. Okay, so even though they are not given a cutoff percentage of labs also, right? So ನೋಡೋಣ ಅದು ಇಲ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ನಾನು ಏನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಇದು ಥಿಯರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಲ್ಯಾಬಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗಲೇ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Just
Sir.
okay, C++ execute ಮಾಡೋದು. Okay, that's the compiler and software itself, right? Okay, so if consider if percentage of a student, okay, is greater than or equal to 80, then statement called result should be output. Okay, so what is the result? Distinction. Okay, else if percentage is greater than or equal to 60, what happens? Result should be
First class.
result should be first class, right? Else if percentage is greater than or equal to 50, the result, what is the result? If percentage is greater than or equal to 50, what happens?
Second class.
Second class, right? Okay, else if again another condition, percentage greater than or equal to 35, the result is equal to just pass. In all the other condition, else last default statement, what you will write? The result
Fail.
is equal to
Fail.
what will you write? Fail. That's it. This is the construct, selection construct. Okay, and if else if statement. If else if statement. Okay, ಈಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು if condition else if condition ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಹೌದಾ? Right? So like this, if this condition is true, this output will come. Okay, so if you entered greater than 80, greater than or equal to 80, so then the person, nothing but the student will be so having the result distinction. If greater than or equal to 60, so then the first class. Greater than or equal to 50, second class. Greater than or equal to 35, just promoted, pass. Next, so in all the other cases, if all this condition fails, then last default statement, that is else, will be getting printed out. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear, everyone?
Sir.
Okay, so example ಬರೀರಿ. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು so flow chart ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Right, ಆಯ್ತಾ? Okay,
Yes, sir,
if
completely.
else if statement. Okay, so we have multiple conditions and then multiple statements. Whichever the condition will true, that statement will execute. That's it. Okay, so whichever the condition will true, the statement will execute. So in all the other cases, so in all the other conditions, so false, then finally else part will execute. That's it. Finished?
Completed, sir.
Good. Okay. So we'll write flowchart for this. Okay. So it takes much space. Okay. So first of all, if condition one, okay. So if it is true, statement one will execute. Statement one. Okay. So true get the anta baritine. So false get false anta f anta baritine. Okay. So next, if it is false, it checks for next if statement. If condition two, right? So if it is true, statement 2 will be executed. Okay. If false, it checks for after condition n ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿನ the condition n statement n will execute. Okay, so in all the other cases, default statement. Default statement. If the condition one is true, then statement one will execute. So false, so then if checks for condition two. So if it is true, statement one will execute. Statement two will execute. Otherwise, if it is false, then up to you can write condition n. If the condition n is true, then statement n will be executed. In all the other case, so then last finally the default statement will execute. Okay, put the arrow mark. Finally. Okay, so here also, right? Arrow mark is important, very, very important. Yeah, that's it. This is the flow chart. Okay. Condition one true, statement one will execute. Condition two is true, statement two will be executed. So condition one false, then it checks for condition two. Okay. So if it is false, then condition up to n you can write. If it is true, the statement n will execute. So if it is false, so in all the other conditions, every conditions will fail, and then finally the default statement will execute. Okay. Finished? ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? If else if ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Right? Syntax, example ಮತ್ತೆ flow chart. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ.
1 minute sir, copy ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಮಾಡಿ. Finished?
Yes,
Next,
sir.
fourth selection structure, that is nested if statement. Right, either?
Yes, sir.
Next, nested if. Nested if statement. Okay, right? The if statement is combined with another if statement. Okay, so if statement is combined with another if statement. Okay, if statement ಇನ್ನೊಂದು if statement ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, ಆಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು nested if ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so the if statement is combined with the another if statement. Then such statement is known as nested if statement. Nested if statement. Okay, so syntax. So illa ಬರೆಯಬಹುದು syntax. Okay, so the if statement is combined with another if statement. Okay, so if statement is combined, so joined with another if statement, so such statement is known as nested if statement. Okay, if condition 1, if condition 2. Okay, so here I am joining two if statement together. I am combining two if statement together. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು if statement ಒಂದೇ ಸರಿ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So I am combining two if statement. Okay, so then the statement 1 will execute. Right? If both the conditions are true, then statement 1 will execute. Okay, so else statement 2. Right? Okay, so ಈ if ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ else ನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Okay, so next if else ಈ if else ನ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. Right? ಈ if ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ else ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ if ಇಲ್ಲಿ else ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. Okay, so I will write one more. If condition 3, then statement 3 will execute. Else statement 4. That's it. like this you can combine ನೋಡಿ ಈ if ಇಲ್ಲಿ else end ಆಗಿದೆ ಈ if ಇಲ್ಲಿ else ಅಲ್ಲಿ end ಆಗಿದೆ ಈ if else ಅಲ್ಲಿ end ಆಗಿದೆ okay so this is the combining if statement together is known as nested if okay ಇದರಿಂದ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ okay so here if both the condition 1 and 2 are true then only statement 1 will execute okay otherwise else the statement 2 will be executed right so here if will be ended in else here so if statement is ended in else here okay so if the condition 3 is true then statement 3 will be executed else statement 4 will be executed right so we are combining two if statement together okay this is what we call nested if statement okay the if statement is combined with another if statement such statement is known as nested if statement okay so I'll give you the example of biggest of three numbers here we can solve very easily here right ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ syntax ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾ okay so we are combining two if statement together okay so then it becomes a nested if okay so if statement so we are joining we are merging together so to build a so nested if statement okay so if this condition 1 is true so and condition 2 is true then statement 1 will execute right so else the statement 2 will be executed so this if will be ended with else this if is ended with else okay if the condition is 3 is true then the statement 3 will be executed else the statement 4 will be executed okay right so we'll write the biggest of three numbers here so example okay so we'll have everything ready if a is greater than b if a is greater than c so then what is the statement will be executed here if a is greater than b and a is greater than c okay so biggest of three numbers we are calculating okay we are finding biggest of three numbers if a is greater than b and a is greater than c if the first element is greater than second element and the first element is greater than third element so which is the biggest number
A. First element.
very good so biggest number is big is equal to a so this is the statement 1 when both the conditions are true okay and so condition 1 this is condition 2 okay then else what it will be printed else andre ಏನು ಬರೀತೀರಾ else what happens
Nothing will be printed, sir.
ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ a is greater than b and then a is greater than c okay ultimately so we'll write so here so a is the biggest number else ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ
C.
very good biggest number is c we are not combining this one here ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆರಡು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇವೆರಡು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಆಯ್ತು biggest number a ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು but we are checking again for else not for this ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು
Yes, sir.
okay if a is greater than c ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ so biggest number is a so else ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ biggest number is c ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇರೋದು ಒಂದೇ a ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ c ಗೆ b ಇಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ right okay so ಈ if else ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು so ಈ if ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಮತ್ತೆ else ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರೆಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ನಾನೇನು ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ next if b is greater than c ಈಗ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 3 ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 4 ಎರಡೂ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ so if b is greater than c what happens biggest number so which is the biggest number if b is greater than c the second element is greater than third element then which is the biggest number
B.
B.
very good okay else what will be printed else ಹೇಳ್ರಿ else ಯಾವುದು
C.
that's it big is equal to c okay so our problem has been solved very easily biggest of three numbers okay Is that clear? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾ? Okay, and then this if is ended with else. That's it. Is that clear? Is that clear? ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾ ಇದು?
Clear, sir.
Right. So ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಪ್ಪ regarding this. Okay, if both the conditions are true, condition 1 and condition 2, the statement 1 will execute. Else, statement 2 will be executed. Next, this if else end with else, this if end with this else. Okay, if condition 3 is true, then statement 3 will execute. So if it is false, then else part will be executed. That is statement 4. Right? If A is greater than B and then A is greater than C, ultimately the biggest number is A. Okay. So else compare this statement. Compare this statement. A is greater than C. Then so A is the biggest. Else the B is the biggest number. Okay. So else if ended with this else, this if ended with this else. If B is greater than C, then biggest number is B. Then else if it is false, then biggest number is C. Is that clear? Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ಅಳಿಸ್ಬೋದಾ? So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಫ್ಲೋ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಬರೆಯೋಣ.
Yes, sir.
Right. If condition 1 if condition 2 if both are true, then statement 1 will execute. Okay. Okay, so if the condition 1 is true, if the condition 2 is true, then statement 1 will execute. If it is false, then if it is false, if condition is false,
Statement 2.
very good, statement 2 will be executed. Okay, next, so come here, so false ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ರಿ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರೀತೀರಾ? What you need to write? So ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ? If condition
3.
3, if the condition is 3 is true, then statement 3 will execute. Okay, if it is false, condition 3 statement, condition 3 is true, so then statement 3 will execute. If the condition 3 is false, then last finally yado
Statement 4.
4. Okay, so you join all this, so please do write, so arrow mark for all. And join this and then so put top arrow. That's it. Okay, if condition 1 and if condition 2 is true, then statement 1 will execute, right? So if the condition false, okay, so if this condition 1 false, so it checks for the condition 3, right? So if the condition 3 is true, then statement 3 will execute. So if the condition 3 is false, then statement 4 will execute. Okay, so if it is both the condition 1 and then 2 are true, then the statement 1 will execute. Okay, so if it is false, then statement 2 will execute. Okay, so if the condition 1 false, then it checks for the condition 3. Okay, so if it is true, statement 3 will execute. So if it is false, then statement 4 will execute. Okay, that's it. Nested if. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Is that clear? Artha aita?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so time. So ಇವತ್ತು ಇದೇನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So if you have any doubts in this session, so please do ask me. Okay, so I'll continue tomorrow with this switch statement and then last selection statement. That is, okay, selection statement ಅಲ್ಲಿ 5 selection statement ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಒಂದು simple if, next if else, next if else if ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. So next ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ if else if ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ
Nested if.
and then finally the switch statement. Okay,
Switch.
so I will continue tomorrow. Okay, so do you have any doubts? So please do ask me. Right, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು? Right, okay, so ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗಳ ಸೊ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಫ್ಲೋ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. Okay, so the purpose of the statement, selection statement, simple if else if nested if and switch. So ಎಲ್ಲದರದ್ದು ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, example, and then finally flow chart. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll continue tomorrow with the last selection statement, that is switch statement. Okay, so after that, so we will continue with looping statement, that is iteration statement. Okay, bye everyone.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.